Hey, it's June 5th, and we find ourselves in Proverbs chapters 7 through 9. In the movie Avengers Endgame, the superheroes that survived half of the universe's population from being snapped out of existence come up with a plan to bring everybody back. The people they lost were more than worth the effort to them, and they vow to do whatever it takes to save them, including making the ultimate sacrifice themselves if necessary. Now, the pursuit of wisdom won't require dying to get it. It does, however, require a lot of effort. The benefits to us and others, though, are more than worth it, but we have to be willing to do whatever it takes to get it. In Proverbs chapter 7, she's back. That's right. Like chapter 5, chapter 7 is completely devoted to warning us away from adultery. Why? Well, the Bible emphasizes things in a couple of ways. One is by repeating something. This is the Bible's way of highlighting. And another is by the amount of space dedicated to a subject. And we now have 2+ chapters in Proverbs on the adulteress. This requires our attention. In Solomon's time, the adulteress went out into the streets and marketplaces to find her victims. Today, the temptation is not just on the streets and in the marketplaces, it's actually in our homes and in pockets and our purses, on all of our screens and devices. Now, if you struggle with this temptation, do whatever it takes to avoid it. Practically, move all the devices into frequently traveled places in your home, out of your bedrooms, have large windows on offices, dens, and studies, or have the screens pointed toward the door. Set up accountability. That can be with people or with software, and even unplug completely if you have to. Adultery is a sin that needs to be avoided at all costs. Chapter 8 describes even more blessings of wisdom. Both here in chapter 8 as well as in chapter 9, verses 1 through 6, wisdom calls to and is readily available to everyone. Verses 2 and 3 say, "On the heights beside the way, at the crossroads she takes her stand. Beside the gates in front of the town, at the entrance of the portals she cries aloud." Verses 5 through 9 tell us that wisdom is right and good. So if you want to know what is right and to do what is good, get wisdom. Twice in this chapter, we are reminded that wisdom is more valuable than wealth, and it can even make you wealthy. Again, this is not necessarily being super rich, but definitely having more than you need. We've already read that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, but what does that look like? How do we know that we have it? Well, verse 13 says that the fear of the Lord hates what is evil, which means that we love what God says is good. The fear of the Lord hates pride, which is the sin of the devil, which means we are humble. The fear of the Lord hates perverted speech, which means we are truthful. Does this sound like you? I hope it does. Wisdom has even more benefits. It gives us wise and sound counsel for ourselves and others. It gives us insight and strength. It is what good leaders use to lead others well. And wisdom is good to and blesses those who get it. Verses 22 through 31 describe how powerful wisdom is. It is what God used in creation. Remember Genesis 1 where it says God spoke and that was? This is God using wisdom. Everything that God created is the result of wisdom. Does that sound like something you want? Getting and using wisdom, though, is a daily pursuit. God favors those who do it, but self-inflicted harm and death await those who don't. And in chapter 9, we see a major difference between the wise and wicked people, and it's how they respond to correction. Verses 7 through 12 tell us that wicked people attack and hate those who try to correct them. Now, isn't this what happens on social media and in politics all the time? So much that wise people don't want to speak up because we're pretty sure that the wicked won't listen to us in the first place, and they'll just call us names and verbally abuse us and try to bully us. Exactly what Proverbs says here. But if we don't speak the truth in love, who will? We have to remember that Jesus died to save them too. By contrast, wise people love those who correct them because they know that it makes them even wiser and adds years to their life. So what can we take away from today's passage? First, do whatever it takes to avoid sexual temptation. It's seriously dangerous. Don't even mess with it. Second, wisdom has so many benefits. It's more than worth pursuing daily. Having God's favor, knowing right from wrong, strength, more than we need, longer life are just a few of the benefits, and there are more to come. And third, be humble enough to receive correction. It only makes you wiser. My prayer for us today is that we do whatever it takes to gain wisdom, starting right here in God's Word, and that we do whatever it takes to avoid wickedness and folly, especially sexual sin. It's more than worth the effort, whatever it takes. Now, if you haven't done so already, please download our Through the Bible reading plan at AsperiaCommunityChurch.org/throughthebible. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.